Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Evan Krugel. A man can no longer walk after a 15-year-old boy shot him outside of an elementary school in Denver 1 year ago. The teenager was sentenced last week. When he had a chance to speak to the shooter in court, the man told him he forgave him. Our Kelly Ranke shares his story in finding peace from trauma.
Afternoons at the Denver Farmers Market are never slow.
2 larges and 1 medium.
Angelo Duran and his brother
This is about done too.
keep moving.
You like that horchata, huh? I love it. It's so good.
Angelo's been operating his stand for several years. A day last fall could have stopped it all.
Definitely, I've come a really long way since the shooting, for sure.
Angelo lost his ability to walk after seeing a young boy with a gun near school.
And as he's about 100 feet from the school, I go to tackle him, and he turns around and shoots me 4 times, which is a pretty tough thing to forgive, but I've definitely asked God to put it in my heart and fill my heart full of kindness and humility.
Life kept going. He comes to work a year later carrying forgiveness instead of hate, which helped him show mercy to the boy last week.
It wasn't to make sure he got the maximum sentence. It was just, I want to be able to make sure that he can hear that I forgive him. Here you go.
Shifts at the farmers market are harder.
I'll be right with you folks for your payment. It's definitely been something that's taken me to have to adjust and learn.
The challenge didn't stop him from coming back.
Because I just feel like if I don't live the way that I used to live, then I'm allowing the tragedy to take over my life instead of me living it for me.
Every Saturday, he takes care of customers.
You guys are a farmers market fam over here.
And each person in line is helping him too.
What kept me going was just the loyalty of everybody here, how, they just love what we serve. There's a lot to enjoy, My light isn't dimmed at all.
Angelo said the boy was sentenced to 5 years in youth detention. He met the boy's mother at the hearing last week, and she told him how sorry she was for what had happened. Angelo said it helped him understand this has been a tough year for the boy's family too, which is such an interesting perspective, because I can understand someone going in thinking all about themselves, what do I want to say to the court, but having so much sympathy for the shooter's family as well is incredible.
There's a lesson here for all of us.
Yes, absolutely, and that was one of the biggest reasons he wanted to share his story.
Yeah, remarkable. Kelly, thank you. I-76 in Commerce City is back open hours after a semi-truck overturned on the interstate, closing all the lanes. Commerce City police say the semi and another car collided this morning. Crews had to get the truck upright and moved before they could reopen the interstate. One person was hurt. We're waiting to learn the extent of their injuries, and at this point, it's not clear who was at fault. A fire at an apartment complex in Aurora sent a woman to the hospital. Aurora Fire was called to the complex on East 13th Place near Laredo just before 1:45 this morning. That's when crews found a couch on fire on the 3rd floor. They quickly put it out and carried a woman out of the unit. She was hospitalized but is expected to be okay. Investigators say careless smoking was the cause of the fire. No one was displaced from the complex. Taking a live look toward downtown Denver tonight, it was certainly a beautiful day out there today. We are expecting a slight cool down tomorrow, but you may have to wait until next weekend for it to really start feeling like October. Weather Impact Team meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen is here with a quick check of your forecast. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Evan, yeah, we're still hunting for the real October, and I think it will show up here towards the last 10 days of the month, but right now, we're still in a little bit of heat. 81 degrees today officially in Denver. That is very unusual when it breaks 80 degrees this late in October. Didn't hear many complaints, though. It was an amazing day, except for a little bit of wildfire smoke still streaming in from those wildfires in Utah and Wyoming, and those are going to stay in the forecast, all that smoke. Current temperatures now just starting to drop down for the day into the upper 70s. Here's your evening here in Denver, 60s by 8 o'clock, staying in the 60s for most of the night. We will have a cold front coming tomorrow. That'll make it cooler-ish on Sunday in the low 70s, middle 70s perhaps. The week ahead is going to be warm and dry, but we are looking for that real October, and I think it's coming here on Friday. We'll talk about that in the forecast.
I like how your definition of a cool down is now upper 70s.
Exactly.
Corey. The family of a teenager who was shot and killed at a house party in Commerce City still doesn't have answers 6 months later. Today, he would have celebrated his 19th birthday. 9 News reporter Ria Jha spoke with loved ones who are frustrated by the lack of information.
The trees on 69th Place are starting to look like they did here 6 months ago when a house party got out of hand.
Shiloh was murdered on March 24th of this year.
Shiloh Bennett was just 18 years old. The seasons have changed, but what his loved ones know about his death hasn't.
We haven't gotten a lot of news. This is just a picture from Crime Stoppers.
Gina Hoke is a family friend.
I usually do it with clear tape so that I can almost laminate it.
She's come back here many times since March,
I put up flyers in downtown Denver, the north side, Pueblo.
hoping for answers.
Somebody knows something.
Out of dozens of people who were at that house party, not one witness has come forward with information about the shooter.
Somebody who was at that party showed up with the killer. Somebody left with the killer. Somebody knows who the killer is.
Hoke is now speaking on behalf of the family
Oh, I love this one too.
because the family can't bear to, at least not this weekend.
His birthday is this weekend. He would have been 19. Sorry at the last moment. Just seeing his face and seeing all his pictures and his life.
Her family is now offering another $1,000 on top of the reward from Crime Stoppers for anyone who comes forward with information.
We can't move on.
Until then, Hoke will continue to do what she can, putting up these flyers, no matter the season.
I don't want his story to be forgotten. Justice for Shiloh.
Ria Jha reporting. 9 News did reach out to Commerce City Police for an update on this investigation. They have yet to respond. Well, we now know body parts discovered inside a person's freezer in Grand Junction last winter belonged to a 16-year-old girl. And this evening, neighbors are reacting to the news. The Mesa County Coroner's Office identified her yesterday as Amanda Overstreet. She was last known to be alive in April of 2005. Investigators say people cleaning out a recently sold home discovered her head and arms on January 12th. The sheriff's office says Overstreet was the daughter of the previous owner of the home. She was never reported missing. In the months since the gruesome discovery, neighbors have speculated who it could be.
We were all guessing who it was and we started thinking had to have been the little girl who was there because we've never saw them. The last time we saw the little girl was actually when she was on her way to school.
The rest of the teenager's remains have not yet been recovered. No arrests have been reported. We are now hearing from one of the 12 people who spent hours 1,000 feet underground when an elevator malfunctioned at a mine in Cripple Creek, killing a tour guide. The malfunction happened as the elevator was descending into the Molly Kathleen gold mine on Thursday. At around 500 feet, the person operating the elevator from the surface felt something strange and stopped it. The elevator still worked, so the operator brought it back up within 20 minutes and found 46-year-old Patrick Weir dead, along with a broken door. It's still not clear exactly how he died. 11 other people were on that elevator. 4 of them were hurt, but none of them seriously. A dozen people from a second group were trapped below ground for roughly 6 hours while engineers made sure the elevator was safe to use. Rhonda Pulse, a tourist from Missouri, was one of them.
We got hungry, kind of cold, but it was uncomfortable, but we were never panicked or afraid. At least no one ever visibly said, are we ever getting out of here? Can we get out of here? That kind of thing.
The group did have access to water and used radios to communicate with first responders. They were eventually hoisted up in groups of 4. They weren't told about the tour guide's death until after they were rescued.
Really pleased with the way the sheriff's department handled things, that they could have told us, but that would have just caused panic, and there was no need. There wasn't anything we could do about it.
A number of local, state, and federal officials are still looking into that accident.